Hey everyone, it's Tyler Esselman.
And it's Michael Osinski.
And you are watching This One Goes to 11.
This One Goes to 11. It's the podcast where Tyler and I invite someone into our living room, to share with us what they believe is a perfect album.
So perfect, in fact, Michael. The 10 out of 10 just isn't good enough.
It ain't.
Still isn't.
Still isn't.
And we're still in Chicago at Chicago Podcast Studio. Today working with a guy named Tom, and we're having a great time. Still feels a little surreal to be on a set like this. It is very weird still.
I mean, I never aspired to be an influencer, but I'm living my influencer fantasy right now.
Or nightmare.
Or nightmare, yeah. I mean, why not both?
But it's great to be in person on video, learning how to do this. Always a good thing to get out of your comfort zone, right? And we get to have a friend with us, which is helpful, right? Michael, who did we bring with us today?
Well, we brought someone from the illustrious world. Illustrious? I'm going to go with it. Illustrious world of cherubs. We brought Kerstin Vaughn with us.
Yes.
Kerstin Vaughn, who has, how many years have we been at Cherubs together?
Only two.
Only two.
Yeah. But it's a deep 2 years.
Yeah.
It is a deep 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
It's significant.
Well, for those of you out there who don't know who Kerstin is, Kerstin Vaughn is a theater artist and educator and proud mom of two precious, perfect cats. Ohio-born, raised, and based. Kerstin currently teaches at the College of Worcester. Outside of the college, she often travels for directing and teaching jobs, including the infamous, I like you said infamous, and it's just a Cherub program in Northwestern. Hobbies include reading silly romance novels and discovering new recipes. So.
It's another I word, illustrious and infamous. I would say it's both of those things.
It is both of those things for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a lot that goes on.
Well, because infamous implies doesn't infamy imply something negative? Isn't it like there's like fame and there's infamy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe infamy is too strong of a word in like a negative context.
When you put the two together, illustrious and infamous.
Then
I think we're golden.
They complement each other well.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Because it's such a specific experience.
Specific is a kind word.
It's beautiful and fabulous in so many ways, and then some days it's infamous, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you survived a Cherub summer as faculty. It is survival. It is a challenge.
And I can confirm that this has been the consistent feedback from every member of the Cherub staff that we've had on the pod, and we've had several. So
yes.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful in so many ways. So
yeah. Well, we're glad to have you today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to meet you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Our first time meeting.
Yeah.
But we did bring you here for a very serious purpose. And if Michael,
very serious.
If Michael believes in your ability to take on this task, then that's high praise. We don't invite just anyone on this podcast.
No, I'm a little nervous.
Oh, you're going to do great.
I have to really show up here.
You will. So
do it.
With that, Kerstin, would you tell us what album hath thou brought before the This One Goes to 11 tribunal today?
I have brought the original Hozier album by Hozier.
Yes.
Eponymous again.
Eponymous.
Could it not be? Yes.
Our first episode was Ben Folds 5. By Ben Folds 5, and now we have, and so you say Hozier.
Yes.
And I've heard both actually. Did you do any research into the pronunciation here?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna use different pronunciations interchangeably.
Okay,
course of the episode.
Good.
Yeah,
I think we should.
Yeah. I think we should because it feels like it's incidental. It's more about the spirit of Hozier, whatever you want to call him.
Absolutely.
Than it is about how you would specifically say his name.
Yeah.
Well, and when he comes on, we'll confirm that with him.
Yeah. When we have him on the podcast,
we'll check in.
And we're going to lean in. I'm sure at some point we're all going to do bad Irish dialects over the course of the episode.
What?
Yes. Sure.
This guy doing a bad Irish dialect.
If we're all consenting to the concept that we're just going to fail at it, then why not?
Floor's open to that.
Floor's now open.
Great.
Because how would you say Hozier?
I'd say Hozier.
That's probably more correct.
Casey Morris is groaning somewhere right now.
So is my husband.
Well, it feels like this is a little bit of a time travel thing because it's about 10 years since
so right.
The album came out, the full-length album. So it is fitting that we're talking about this album.
Perfect.
And I think everybody's going to kind of know one of the songs from this album.
I think so.
Probably.
It's kind of impossible to not. I
It would be surprising if they hadn't.
But there's a possibility that some of our audience members might not know as much about the whole album or the artist.
Yes.
And that, Kerstin, is why we have a segment we like to call, what do we like to call it, Tyler?
We like to call it the beginner's guide to Hozier's Hozier in 60 seconds.
Ooh, yay.
So before you make your case for why this is a perfect album, you get to evaluate Tyler's case. He's going to, he's essentially tried to condense everything we need to know about Hozier in 60
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh yeah. I got more.
You're
I
in
got
it
more.
now.
Yeah, because how would they pronounce it in France? Anyway, Tyler's going to present.
Yes. So this is about you making your case for why this album is perfect. And so to start this, you'll actually get to assess how I do, kind of condensing Hozier and this album, the context around him and the album in 60 seconds. Okay?
Great.
So pay close attention.
And I've got a clock. I got
Locked
60
in.
seconds on
I
the
don't know
clock.
if I'll get it in 60 seconds here this time, but we'll see. I'm going to believe in myself.
I went a skosh over.
You did.
The first one, so but you were gracious, so I will be gracious.
Okay.
But I will start the clock in
Great.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'm willing to bet if you listen to at least 20 minutes of Pandora's indie rock station in 2014, then you will be quite familiar with the booming amen of this week's artist. The man is Andrew John Hozier Byrne. The song was Take Me to Church. If you didn't know, he is indeed Irish. Born in Bray, County Wicklow, into a Quaker household, our guy Hozier began cutting his musical teeth in the same way so many of his country people have, gigging around Dublin while he studied music education at Trinity College. The strength of his Take Me to Church demo secured him a signature with Rubyworks and a link up with noted Irish producer Rob Kerwin. Kerwin and Hozier put together the Take Me to Church EP, which hit the Billboard 200 and kicked off the meteoric global rise of Hozier. Songs from the Hozier's first 2 EPs would end up being included on his eponymous debut full-length, which was lauded for its vivid lyrical content, grand emotional scope, and of course the haunting, almost mythical voice of the man himself. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200, and Hozier's gone from strength to strength since taking us to church and carrying on the great Irish pop rock tradition with aplomb and a great head of hair. Okay, that was pretty. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
And a real effective, like you let the alarm. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
It worked.
So, Kerstin, you get to evaluate how Tyler did using whatever scale you choose. We're very Montessori around here, so like you know whatever.
It's based on the vibe, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I really appreciated the use of the word aplomb at the end there. That was really impressive to me. So on that point alone, right, the vocabulary usage, really beautiful.
Thank you.
And the wordplay on since he first took us to church, beautiful.
Excellent.
So on that scale, you know, I think you covered his life and his beginnings.
Yeah.
You know, A+ gold star.
A+ gold star. Okay. See, I'm deprogramming though, because as a former perfectionist, the recovering perfectionist, and somebody who needed to get straight A's. I don't need straight A's, but I'll take them when I can get them.
Okay, that's fair. I can give you an A-.
No.
That will help.
I'll take the A+. Don't
Okay,
take it back.
okay. Okay, great.
If you've already given it, then I'll take
It's
it.
part of your journey. I'm willing to give you the A-.
Exactly.
A+ gold star.
That's such an educator way to approach this.
It sure is.
Well, I appreciate that. And this was, like I said, this was kind of fun to dive back into Hozier because it's 10 years ago. That was when I was graduating undergrad. And so it was a very heady time for me. And this song, Take Me to Church, was freaking everywhere at the time. I feel like any Walgreens, any Top 40 radio had this going. So it was fun to kind of get a view on what he's been doing since.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we like to talk about you because we want you on because you are somebody that we trust, somebody we're interested in your take on music in general. So to start us off, why don't you tell us a little bit about what your relationship is like with music writ large?
I think music on the whole, my family is, my parents and my dad in particular is a big music person.
Yeah.
There was always music playing in the house. He loved like the MTV music videos with like the pop-ups and all of that nonsense.
Nice.
And like a wide range of music. Like we would have Run DMC and then Billy Joel and then Adele, and that's like 15 minutes of music listening. And then Big and Rich, right? Like there was no music genre that was off limits.
And where'd you grow up? In Ohio?
Yeah, in Ohio, outside of Cleveland.
Outside of Cleveland. Okay. So, hey, that's like the crossroads of America, though.
Yeah.
You're kind of like the Midwest of the Midwest. Basically.
Right. Peak Midwest.
Yeah.
And we embraced all of it.
Yeah.
So I listened to a lot of different things growing up. Yeah. And I'm more of a story person. So like when I'm in the car, I don't put on the radio necessarily. I like go to an audiobook or a podcast or something, which I think is one of the reasons I really like Hozier, is because he's got these interesting stories and his lyrics are so poetic that I can like lock into the words, and the music gets to accompany that in a really beautiful way.
Did you play any instruments, or were you in choir growing up, or anything like that?
I was a band kid. I was a band kid before I was a theater kid, and I was of the most annoying of the band kids. Like,
hot take, what is it?
I played bassoon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
No,
so like
double reeds are underrated, though. We've talked about this before,
Yes.
haven't we? I feel like I've always said if I could go back and do it again, I would take up the oboe.
Yes.
And like I would have to have somebody in the bassoon, because the double reed section's kind of underrated.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It was so fun. I remember it was like the end of 6th grade. I had started on saxophone, and it was time to like upgrade the people who wanted to upgrade to the weirder instruments. And I went up to my band director and I was like, what's the weirdest thing you'll give me? You know, like, what's the weirdest thing? And he was like, I don't know, I guess a bassoon. And I was like, great, sign me up. And so that was that was me as a kid, as I said, what's the hardest, nerdiest instrument? And I picked that one. So I played bassoon for 7 years. I think I still own it. It's at my parents' house somewhere. And I played clarinet. My younger brother he's the musician. He has a Bachelor of Music in composition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he can, if you just hand him an instrument, he'll figure it out and like learn how to play it.
We love those.
He can play things by ear. He's really into accordion right now, which is special.
Hey, as a Polish American over here who knows how to polka, don't underrate the accordion.
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
It's less necessary at 7:30 in the morning.
Okay. Point taken.
Because 7:30 is awake time, and so why wouldn't you be playing the accordion? And everyone else is like, go to bed.
He needs to read the room. He needs to read the house.
He can't do that. And he would hate that. And even if he could, he wouldn't.
Fair enough. So you were band kid until did you make that transition into theater in high school as well? Was that
in high school, like I went to a really small high school, and so everyone kind of like the arts kids did all the arts things and the sports kids did all the sports things. So the natural progression was from band kid into band and theater and speech and debate kid.
Right.
And so I started doing all of those things. And while I wanted to play the nerdiest, hardest instrument, I learned I was not the best at it. And I'd get distracted practicing. Like, we're like, okay, you got to run your scales. And I'm like, that's so boring. But through that, like, I feel like I learned discipline and appreciation for the arts in band that then I got to take into theater when I went to college.
Oh, cool.
Like, I didn't learn how to do theater or be a grown-up doing theater in high school. I learned how to I became myself in band. And then the way that manifested once I left high school and band was I loved the theater. So it's a really interesting, like when I think back on it, like theater kids talk about how much they love their high school theater program and la 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 la. And yes, great, awesome, but I liked my high school theater program, but I loved my high school band program. I just wasn't great at it.
Well,
but I was better at acting, and I loved telling stories, and so that's how I shifted.
Yeah, and it does require. I think that's an astute distinction between band and theater, is that there is a higher level of precision required to be like a collaborative member in a band than there is in a theater setting. And that's probably why I ended up doing theater too, a little bit.
Right.
If I'm honest.
You're either on pitch or you're not.
Right, yeah.
Where it's like, you could tell the story this way maybe. And it's like, no, you're on pitch or you're not.
And theater's a little bit more like, bless this mess.
Yes.
And and band's a little bit more like, somebody sounds wrong in there and you can tell.
Do better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of my anxiety comes from doing band. You know, a lot of my perfectionism comes from doing band.
Yeah.
But also like my responsibility and my leadership skills and like my dedication to doing the thing, that also comes from there.
One other semi-related question. Did you ever play handbells in a church setting?
That's a really great question. And no, I did not.
Okay.
There's a
We can't add her to the
I
handbells.
know. There's a
the
reason why
handbells
he's
crew.
asking this, because I played in my handbell choir, and we've had a few guests on. Have you ever played a handbell?
I haven't.
It's so empowering.
I believe you.
And also it requires such collaboration because you got a big old table full,
Right.
and everyone has to be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I never did it, and I'm kind of jealous that I never did it.
Yeah. You wear these like white gloves so you don't like get oil on. the
Right.
thing.
It is beautiful. It's very precise.
I think you might dig it though. Like it sounds like from the experience.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I'd try it. Like I'm not saying no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just haven't.
for sure.
It didn't come up.
YOLO, or would it be yo ho? You only handbell.
You only
once.
handbell once when you're a kid in church.
Keep that in.
Good
Yeah.
try.
You and the grandmas, right? Like it was.
Well, no, a grandma can't play. Well, okay, I don't want to. Okay, now I'm saying something negative about grandmas, but I will say that like it's hard.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're on like the lower bells there. I
Yeah.
can't believe we're talking about that.
No, we're
I
stuck on
brought
it
it
now.
up. I wanted to. I brought it up.
See, because like at my grandma's church, they had a handbell choir that would come out on like Easter and Christmas, but it was like only the old ladies.
Oh, really?
Like
Okay.
that was
Oh.
who did it. Like that, it was the special, and it was
Okay.
the old ladies. It
So
was
they
the
were doing that
grandmas.
instead of mahjong or something. You know,
Yeah.
like that's,
Sure.
it's a good social activity. They need that.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're stereotyping grandmas here, but anyway.
I love you, Grandma.
My grandma loves mahjong. So.
That's good.
So, in your musical development, like, how did you arrive at this particular album? Like, do you remember when you first heard it? Do you remember when you first acquired it, or when you listened to it all the way through? Like, what's the genesis of your love for this album?
Yeah, absolutely. So of course it starts with "Take Me to Church," right? Like that was the thing that was everywhere. It was everywhere all the time. And growing up, I grew up super, super conservative, religious, very, very Christian family. I was at church like 5 times a week.
Damn.
Like
Yeah.
that might be an exaggeration, but only by a little. There was
Sure.
at least 3,
Okay.
for sure. And so it was kind of this interesting thing where like we're like, take me to church. Like, oh, it's church, like it's a church song and they're singing amen. And like, oh, and then you listen to it, you're like, oh wait, hold on. And so like I remember this being a like controversial piece of media in like youth group. And like sitting there and being like, well, what do we do with this? And is this blasphemous? And like, how do we receive this thing?
I would say it's blasphemous.
Oh yeah, right. And like how do we engage with this? But I loved it. It was beautiful, right? And like the thing that Hozier does is he uses this like religious imagery, and it's got this like gospel sound along with the folk sound. And so I was so drawn to this music, and I was like, oh no, I'm listening to blasphemous music. I am going straight to hell. And so like that was this thing. And when I first encountered it, but it was just so beautiful. I loved it. And so I was like, okay, like what other stuff does this guy got going on? And then like the music video, and like the music video's gay, and we're like, oh no, it's gay.
It is super
what
gay.
are we to do? But then it's like, oh, but they just love each other, and like that's hate, and like you can't. That's so bad. And so it was like this really interesting awakening for me about like the rest of the world, and how different things can go together and be together and be in contrast but in complement. And it just always stuck with me, and I like would sit there and wrestle with this song about like what it meant for me as a young Christian who was like so attracted to this music and the message of the music. Like I really loved that. I loved, as much as it like kind of shook me in my present worldview, I saw this music video and I was like, oh no, like this means something. And so it really started to like change the way I saw the world in a really interesting way that I wouldn't have expected. And so that's kind of like my touchstone for it. And then, you know, after sitting with this song for a long time, I probably didn't get into the rest of the album until a couple of years later from when it like first came out and became huge. I was like, no, I really like this sound. Like let's see what else is there. And then engaging with the rest of this album and his other music, his more recent stuff. He just has really become one of my favorite artists.
So would you say in the way that you relate to the album now, it's mostly with Take Me to Church specifically, or like what other, we're gonna get into what you think the standout track is from it, but how did the rest of the songs compare to Take Me to Church in terms of the messaging as you got to know the full album?
Yeah.
Or did you feel that same kind of sort of provocative awakening in the other songs, or what else were you drawn to in the album?
Yeah, I think it's what I'm drawn to with all of Hozier, but in this album, the poetic language, the way that we've got these religious allusions in like a very different context and different application. And I am a huge romantic. I am a huge romantic. I love love. I love love so much. It's so beautiful. It's so fun. I love my silly romance novels, as I said in my bio. That's a very important part of who I am. And so, like, the way I think my brother is also a big Hozier fan.
Cool.
And I was sitting there and I was like, man, I just want someone to love me like Hozier loves whoever the heck he's singing about. Is that too much to ask? And then my younger brother deadpans to me and goes, yes, absolutely. That is too much to ask for. I was like, dang, kid.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch.
That's hard.
That hurt. I'm still aiming for it, like that's still my personal goal, but yeah, that's that. So like Someone New is beautiful. It's like, oh yeah, you get to fall in love with someone new every day, but it's still the same, right? Like we're changing every day. And I just get to fall in love over and over again.
I'm glad you brought that song up because I feel like that is, it's so poppy, like it's so listenable.
Yeah.
And it's saying this in the way that Take Me to Church is kind of like hiding these very, I don't want to say dark in kind of like a negative sense, but kind of like maybe unspoken desires and that kind of thing.
Right.
Some things
Heavier.
like provocative kind of ideas that are contrary to whatever orthodoxy you might be involved with on a spiritual level. I think like Someone New is sort of expressing a similar contrarian thought of like saying like I can love somebody, like I can love somebody, but I also sort of fall in love walking down the street. And that's the romantic in me. That it makes sense why that song would connect with you.
I just get to fall in love all the time with anything.
Yeah.
And that's so much fun.
Right.
And it's beautiful.
And it's a little forbidden too in the idea that you can only be in love with one person. Right.
Yeah.
Like there's a sort of dialectic. Is that the word I'm looking for? Is like a dialectic happening there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also like if that someone new can be the same person, right? Like you're with
I like that.
your person and every day they're changing and you're changing and you get to fall in love with them over and over again.
If we still did points, I'd give you a bunch of points for that because that's a great way of way of framing that.
I was also a straight A student, so I really love getting all of the points.
You're in good company here then.
Yes, you are.
The sort of romantic nature of his music. I mean, when I was listening to this, we have a fraught relationship with genre on the podcast.
Yes.
And that like it feels limiting. We've also sort of done we've done our homework to know that it was largely about like selling and segregating, frankly.
Right, yeah.
But like but I still always try and figure out like if there were a record store that I owned, where would I put this?
Right.
Sure.
Right.
And I mean it feels like it's become sort of pop, but I was hearing a lot of like Jeff Buckley.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Jeff Buckley at all?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No, now we have given you something that you can listen to after this. And he only has one album that he released while he was alive.
Let's not oversell it. But that if you love Hozier, you're gonna love Jeff Buckley.
Beautiful.
And I also think we don't get Hozier without Jeff Buckley. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Like that's
I mean, it wasn't just Jeff Buckley. I actually found there was like a review that I found where it put together like 4 different artists, and I was like, oh yeah, it is actually all these 4. Like first of all, Van Morrison, who is also an Irish
definitely
folk.
I mean, I would say pop.
Yeah,
I would
pop,
say Brown Eyed Girl and
Moondance,
and all those. That's pop to me.
But then also like the blues and R&B of they mentioned Jackie Wilson, who I'm not as familiar with, but you can hear the blues on this album. Like, very
That's
clearly.
so apparent. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last one was Bon Iver.
Yeah.
Or Bon Iver at all. I think that'd be another one you would enjoy.
Yes, I do. Just kidding.
Yeah, I think not that I don't know how you feel about having people recommend music to you because I have a very weird relationship about that.
I'll always receive a recommendation.
Awesome.
good.
We've given you 2 now.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll make sure to specifically share them with you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Those are great comparisons, I think. And the bluesy nature of it is, I think it belies the poppiness. Like there's some he's able to kind of like balance those things out, making it very approachable while also having like a kind of gritty, earthy blues sound to it.
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons I also picked this album, is because it was kind of my introduction into, this came out in 2014. So I was a junior or senior in high school. And so like that, and that's like when your music taste like starts to like codify into being a thing. And so it was like with this introduction that I started getting interested in that more like folk sound and that indie kind of genre, that singer-songwriter genre that wasn't just the top 40 pop, right? Like it lived on those lists, but Take Me to Church lived on those lists, but his other songs lived outside of that. And so it was my first introduction to that genre that I wouldn't have come to on my own, I don't think. And so like that then led me to The Head and the Heart and like
where they're at. I haven't heard much from them.
Hope they're doing okay.
Yeah,
I hope they're doing okay.
Yeah, hope they're doing okay.
And other people who live in that genre that I can't think of because names.
Yeah.
But
right. It was a heyday for that. This was Lumineers' time.
Yes,
too, right?
Lumineers, great.
Oh yeah.
This was Hey Ho. This was Stomp and Clap. This was like big time pop folk time. And then I think that has morphed into something different in the TikTok era. I don't really know. I couldn't name for you the people who are kind of holding that torch right now, but it was a very, you're right that it was a very particular time in pop folk.
Yeah, and that's gotten me from pop folk to indie folk to just these different types of things that get to show up that I'm like, oh, yeah, no, like that's my genre. I love that sound.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Kerstin, we have we've circled around the topic for a few minutes here, but why don't we just cut straight to the chase? And can you tell us and our listeners and viewers, what have you chosen as the standout track from Hozier's Hozier?
Great question. And I feel a little basic making this choice, but as we've already discussed, it has to be Take Me to Church.
Take Me to Church. All right, everybody, you heard it. The standout track is Take Me to Church. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're about to be able to listen to Take Me to Church and see the video. If you're not watching us on YouTube, just go listen to Take Me to Church. I'm sure you've heard it.
I'm sure I've heard it.
See you in a second.